story of the three little elephants, based on the three little pigs. Once upon a time, there were three little elephants who lived with their parents. When the elephants grew old enough, they went out into the world to live on their own. The first little elephant built a small wooden shack. One day there was a knock at the door.
Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? It's a big bad mouse. Open up at once. Hello, is anybody out there? Let me in, let me in, let me in. That's strange. Someone knocked on my door. Whoever was, he should have gone away.
The big bad mouse was frustrated, so he wrote a note and slipped it under the elephant's door. It read, "Squeak, squeak, squeak, I'm the big bad mouse. I'll rip up your garden, I'll tear down your house. I'll tug on your tail, I'll pull on your ears. I'm mighty and mean, I'm the worst of your fears." Later that day, the elephant found the note.
Oh, big bad mouse. Oh no, I've never seen a mouse, but it sounds very scary. I imagine that it must be giant, much larger than an elephant. I'll bet it has big yellow eyes and long sharp teeth. Oh no, help, there's a big bad mouse in the loose. I must run away before it comes back to my house. I must run for my life.
The elephant ran through the wooden shack, tripping over tables and bumping into chairs. The terrified elephant left through the back door and ran all the way to the second elephant's house. The second elephant lived in a brick house. It was larger than the first elephant's wooden shack. It also had a doorbell, which the first elephant rang. Ring, ring.
Whoever there? It's me. I'm so scared. There's a mouse in the loose. Can I stay at your house, please, please? A mouse? I've never seen a mouse, but it sounds very scary. I imagine it must be gigantic, long tail with their paws. Seems like quickly it must be behind you.
A few minutes passed. The two elephants sat in frightened silence. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. The two elephants looked at each other, and their terror grew. Who could it be?
I'm not answering it. Or me, I'm not answering it either.
The big bad mouse kept ringing the bell, but no one answered. Finally, he grew frustrated and slipped a note under the door. It read, "Squeak, squeak, squeak, I'm the big bad mouse. I'll rip up your garden and tear down your house. I'll tug on your tail, I'll pull on your ears. I'm mighty and mean, I'm the worst of your fears."
Oh, it's terrifying. Now the big man is in my house. Oh no, what will we do? Where do we go? There's a gigantic, frightening, fierce trestle.
The two terrified elephants stumbled out of the house, tangling up their legs and tripping over one another. They left through the back door of the house. They didn't stop running until they arrived at the third elephant's house. The third elephant lived in an enormous mansion. It had a long driveway and a swimming pool. The two elephants rang the doorbell and James the butler answered. As soon as he opened the door, they ran past him, shouting and waving their arms wildly.
Oh my, oh no. It's horrible, it's terrifying. Help us. Do something. Help us. Help us. Help Army. Get a hold of yourselves, both of you. Now slow down and tell me what you're so frightened of. A mouse! A mouse? Why didn't you say so? I've never seen a mouse, but I imagine a mouse would be humongous, larger than this mansion. I think it might have scales and it might breathe fire.
The three elephants huddled in fear. They remained very still, listening with extreme care. After a few minutes, the doorbell rang.
Don't answer it, James. Why not, Master Elephants? It's a mouse, James. A humongous, terrifying, scaly, fire-breathing mouse. Don't make me do this. March out. Time for a queen to spin and eat Susan Bailey.
James went and opened the door. The three elephants were so frightened now that their eyes were popping out and their ears stood straight up from their heads.
What we have is a little tiny mouse. Would you please deliver a message to the elephants? Please tell me, squeak, 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 I'm the big bad mouse. I'll rip up your garden, I'll tear down your house, I'll tug on your tail, I'll pull on your ears, I'm mighty and mean, I'm the worst of your fears. Elephants come in much face-to-face. I must say, respectfully scary.
The three elephants walked very nervously toward the door. The first and second elephants were looking over the shoulder of the third. The three frightened elephants stared at the doorway, but no one appeared to be there besides James the butler. They looked to the left. They looked to the right. They looked up. They looked down. There on the doorstep stood a little tiny mouse.
But you're so small. I've never seen a mouse before. You're really not very frightening at all. You're so huge. I did not know that this is how you look. You're very, very frightening. Big elephant!
And with that, the mouse scampered into the woods. At last, the elephants had seen that a mouse was very small. They were never frightened of mice again. At last the mouse had learned that elephants are very large. The mouse never again threatened to rip up an elephant's garden or tear down his house. Everyone lived happily ever after.